This is Sophie Aldred with The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS.
Wrong button. Welcome to The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. If I can just take away, there it is. Welcome. I'm only here for a few minutes. I've been gone for a few weeks, off playing in Quad Ball Canada's national championships, kicking some college kid butt at Quidditch, and just generally on the road. Today I've got a 14-something hour day as I'm doing a theater show here in Red Deer. 2 shows, in fact, so I've got to tech all of those. I just wanted to stop and say, I miss you all. I miss you. All of my Whovians. So with that being said, we've got a great show for you. We're reviewing Smith and Jones. We've got some glorious Jadoon goodness. We've also got some great Christian goodness. Hey, Christian.
Hello there. I just love watching you backstage talking. And I'm like,
countdown?
I love the new countdown. That was that was a good surprise. But not only that, I loved you watching you backstage talking. But like, yeah, he's not even at the show. So I just like, boom, hit the show button, get him in there.
Yep.
Yay.
Yes. No, I'm like, I need to find a way to integrate that. Oh, wait. April Fool's Day is literally on a show day. Yeah. So I had to do that for today.
That is beautiful.
Little Curse of the Fatal Death.
Thank you,
and a little bit of Peter Cushing. Little love for those other doctors. I'm going to take off. I'm going to leave the show in your capable hands.
That's it.
and to introduce everybody, and everybody once again, miss you all. Have a great show.
All right. Well, that was interesting. Okay. Well, Dave has already left, and here I am. My name is Christian Basil. I'm the host of The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Hello, everybody. You don't need to see the paperwork here that I work with in the corner. Oh, that straightened things out. And tonight, fellow Whovians, we are going to be discussing and reviewing the first Martha Jones series of her run with David Tennant, which was Smith and Jones. Now's a good time to go ahead and put your numbers in the chat and the reason why you reviewed the episode. We're going to be bringing some friends in just a moment, and thank Dave for the April Fool's joke that he threw up on me. Don't forget to say hi to each other and the chats. I see a lot of people are in there. How do you get J.R.R.? How do you get George R.R. Martin? The podcast. I think they're talking about you, Dave. So yeah, whenever you finish those books, just let us know. We're really in there. So everybody, let me go ahead and bring on some friends out here. We'll go ahead and introduce the lovely David.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, David. How are you doing there?
I am delightful. Yeah. I've expended.
I'm glad you can elaborate on that
for the day now, but yes. So, yep.
No worries. Speaking of frightful,
just Dave, no. Do you guys have it in the US when April Fools? If it goes past midday, the joke becomes on you, like they do in the UK.
No, I don't think we. I mean, they just do it. It's just a thing.
Yeah, but in the UK, we have it at midday, so you have to do April Fools before midday in the UK. Otherwise, the joke's on you.
Oh, did not know that. Nope, they don't care in this country. They will do everything in this country to ruin you.
So the joke's all day for you guys then. Making no pun intended.
Exactly. Well, speaking of the joke, hello there, Reverend Hamagon. What in the hell is that?
It's April Fools.
Jeez. How you doing there, Reverend? Check him out on Spill the Geek Tea over on the YouTube channel. What's going on there? Might have hashtag Guru Friend.
I keep hearing bongos going on. I don't know. Is it just me?
Yes.
Okay.
And you're probably tapping on your microphone there. Maybe.
Banging on the drums.
No, don't do that. Ow.
That's a later episode.
Ow.
The other episode. You're bumbling boobs.
Nice.
Yeah, segue that one, Christian. I did.
No, I am not segueing that one anyway. Well, speaking of which, let's go ahead and bring her on out here. We're going to go ahead and start off with the Who Knew News with the lovely Gadget. When I think we got a lot of Who Knew News out there. So without further ado, let's bring her on.
Hello. I'm trying my best with you guys. I'm trying my best because I'm trying backstage not to laugh, not to giggle, and everything. But do we want to start with birthdays first?
It's your news. You
well,
whatever you want. All the pictures I got are all clustered everywhere. So
I know that's what I'm saying. Or do we start with some sad news that it might be canceled, as I heard, or Is that one of those rumors that have been going around lately?
Look at all these rumors.
You know, I mean, today is April Fool's Day. We've got rumors that the Ronnie is back. We got rumors that the show's been canceled. We got rumors and everything. And I'm sitting here going, like, let's just celebrate. Let's just have fun with it, because how many gullible people out there did see that? You know what I mean? So how about we do our news where let's wish some happy birthdays, talk about some cool events that are coming up, and then we'll go into if there really is a season 2, or we just been getting our legs pulled or our double hearts pumped, you know?
Would it be so wrong if we didn't have a series? Just like, no.
You know, like breaking news, it is canceled. No.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, like some of us would be the first to know and everything, and they'd be crying in the corner.
Oh, no.
Anyway, basically, let's start with the birthdays, because I did it by day order.
Okay.
And many of you guys know this person. His name is Nick Frost. He has been in more British comedies than anything. He's an English actor, comedian, screenwriter, and everything. He has just been asked to possibly do Hagrid for the new series on HBO of Harry Potter. As well, you'll be seeing him this June in the live action How to Train Your Dragon. And he celebrates his wonderful, if I can get this right, because the computer making sure the dates are right, 53rd birthday.
Okay.
And not bad, but the latest things, his next one coming up, though, after How to Train Your Dragon, is an untitled adventure from Tintin sequel coming out in 2027. So keep an eye out for him. He's doing a lot of cool things right now. And
I'm going to cut you off, Gadget, for just a little bit, because he's not the only one, and I don't know if you had got this information yet, but he's not the only one celebrating a birthday.
Well, I have 2 others.
Yeah, you got.
Oh, my buddy. I forgot about him. I know I sent you that picture. He is like, if everyone remembers Ianto, that poor guy, he could have had a good career. Everything. They just killed him off so bad. They did him dirty. I'm going to be honest. They did him dirty.
Oh, worse. Not only did they do him dirty by the way, happy birthday, Garrett David Lloyd, who plays Ianto Jones.
He is like the sweetest person going, because there was a girl online with me because I was working with something else to meet him. And she almost had a heart attack seeing him. And I basically was translating her to him. It was the cutest thing. He was so sweet to her. He gave her a hug. She was crying. But he's like the best. Like he showed me pictures of his little girl at that time, who's now probably a teenager and everything.
I've heard rumors that he kind of mellowed out when he started having kids. It was like they were always having a great time, like, you know, a little Torchwood party. But now that he's a daddy, he's kind of mellowed out a bit up there. I mean, I think he's spending more time.
Oh, she was his pride and joy, that little one. Like, he would talk about her all the time and everything.
And who's the next birthday up for bids?
Marina, and I'm not going to kill her name because I still do not believe she's this many years old, because she does not age. She does not age. Our wonderful counselor Troy does not age. She is, believe it or not, 70 years old. You've seen her on NCIS. You've seen her in other things. The Wicked Lady, Blind Date. I cannot believe she is 70 years old as of March 29th. She does not look it.
And I'm sorry, don't have the picture for her, but we have one more birthday out there.
And this lovely person has ties to many sci-fi adventures and everything. The granddaughter of, I'm trying to remember, because I know they're trying to make sure I get it right and everything, because she is also our Ramana, and that would be Juliet Landau, and she turned 60 the other day on March 30th. Wow. And she don't look at you like you would never guess.
She's Candyman, you would learn a lot from her if you wanted to live forever.
I'm just a candy vampire.
Like, you want to talk Drusilla? Like, this is Drusilla. Like, she does not age. She literally is. You know, especially her eyes. They even said her eyes is what won everybody over on that series.
Oh God! And every one of these folks that we talked about, including Counselor Troy, Marina Sirtis, all have a birthday short tribute on the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. You can check it out on our YouTube channel. But yeah, there she is, Ramana 3, and I think I'm in the minority, guys. I know her as Romana 3 before I know her as Drusilla.
And I knew her as Drusilla because of David Boreanaz and Buffy and everything. Yeah.
But I heard one of her audios, and she just does a very good job taking over from Lala Ward, and it was just she nailed it. And now that her Romana is supposed to be the one that is Lord President of Gallifrey or Lady President, however you do it. But yeah, she does a great job.
And then that's it for the birthdays. But then we have some cool events coming up in I'm gonna double check the date on this to make sure, because London MCM Comic-Con has gone Doctor Who'd out. From May 23rd to the 25th of this year, you're going to be seeing a row of Doctor Who's themed type of events and everything, as well as possibly seeing David Tennant there. Plus, the other day, we had been treated to a wonderful tidbit of the premiere of the first episode, where cast and crew got to see how their episode turned out. And there were a few spoilers in here and everything that people are saying. That's why we don't know if we're getting a Ronnie, if we're getting some cast members and everything. But maybe when you attend MCM, you might be able to find out when you talk to some of the cast members and everything, or other Whovians. But there was a lot of interesting talk, because there were two specific people as guests there, which led into the fact: are we getting the fugitive doctor and Missy back, or were they just party guests and everything? Because they were featured in the slides of all the pictures and everything.
Spoilers.
So, would you guys like to see the fugitive doctor back, as well as Missy? Because would Missy be something else, or is Missy Mrs. Flood? We don't know.
Now, who's this woman? I'm trying to remember.
Because I was trying to ask around about this, and I know she's supposed to be connected to. I think she's I thought she was the writer at first, but then they said no. But I've been trying to figure out, because I think she's connected to one of the episodes.
Gotcha. And you said Missy. Yep, Missy made an appearance.
Yeah, and I've never seen her hair that straight.
Michelle,
like, she always has it curled up, and I was like, that's what threw me off with the picture at first.
Could be like she's the Ronnie.
Because she could pass for her if you look at it like the way she is.
Just like, how other Time Lord, how the Doctor's picked up from other previous people that he's seen before, including Peter Capaldi, who's not to say they can't switch.
Or even the Sixth Doctor picked up a face along the way,
Yeah. So
but they looked very nice that night and everything. And people were raving about it. They couldn't wait to see the episode. And from what we've heard, even in rumors from other things, everyone is focusing on 2 new villains and 2 doctors and a villain this, and they're all like, they're just all over the place. That's why today, take it with a grain of salt, whatever is said, even with us, because I'm trying to weed out all the April Fool's jokes that they've been saying about this episode. But they said you definitely have to be ready for this episode when it comes on.
So it is coming on, or it isn't coming on.
I mean, are you going to be up at 3 a.m. in the morning to see?
Spoilers, no. Not gonna.
I mean, I can even pose this to everybody with our news today. Who would you want to see, if it is true that the fugitive doctor and Missy come back? Who would you rather see in the series play against him or with him?
He's playing the fugitive doctor.
He looks like a Christmas present gone Hawaiian.
Well, do you have remember the other picture I gave you of his Power Rangers outfit?
Yeah, I think I have it in here.
Yeah.
That's spandex.
Now, trust me, we are a high-tech facility. The problem is I couldn't put in as many pictures
I know
that we had, because StreamYard only limits us. But if let me pull up that Power Ranger,
because we got I was getting bombarded. Explain that one. I mean, I understand they want publicity, but that is just like, he could be a Power Ranger.
Now,
like, if the series ends, he could be a Power Ranger.
This is our TD's dream.
Well, it's Fallout 76, isn't it?
What's that?
Fallout 76.
That's from the episode, yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean the game, Fallout.
Game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. Even the styling of the cosplay, like, you're gonna see this, probably see this cosplay at every convention now. Because I'm waiting to see what they do with when they go to MCM.
I do see people's criticism of not shitty, but just that he has so many outfits out there that like I had forgotten that he had the original one outfit with the like the orangey leather suit and everything. Because he's been dressing up all over the place.
And they said there's going to be a lot of costume changes in this series. Plus, they also said with this series, keep your eyes on the screen because it might be more fictional or nonfiction than you think. And then basically that's mostly what I could find right now. There's still no word on the spinoff series, except if you look at the trailer and everything, it could be coming out of the episode with Ruby and her boyfriend. But it is funny that they do land in one of the episodes in 2007, which technically, if you Google Doctor Who 2007, it's actually our episode tonight.
Oh.
It is. I was like, what was going on in 2007? And then all of a sudden it's like him and Martha. And I'm like, that's interesting that would correlate with and everything and stuff.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, do we have anything else in the news out there?
Not really much. Like I said, we're trying to get that second season and spin off and everything, as well as if they're going to, because Disney right now is still waiting on a few episodes because it isn't canceled. Just please, guys, that going around with Amazon thingy and stuff. No, it's not canceled. It's just a little delayed, just a little.
We'll find out soon enough out there. All right, let's go ahead and let's go ahead and end the Who Knew News.
Now, I didn't want to put this in the news because I wanted you to do this. It's its own entity.
Yeah.
But Gretchen, while she's over in Wales and UK and everything, found us the actual, and it's a cool picture of the Cyberman little soldier. So this is actually from Gretchen's pictures, and it does exist.
Delete.
So if you guys are ending up in Cardiff and you end up in this church, look up. You never know what you're going to find. That's why stay out of your phones like this and just look up, because you would miss it if you're in your phones every 5 seconds.
All I'm saying is if you want me at your midnight mass, I better see a Dalek somewhere.
Yeah.
I want to see Jadoon. I want to see Centaurans.
Right.
They could.
St. John Baptist Church. I just Googled it. St. John's Baptist Church in Cardiff.
I want somebody to actually reenact Mr. Bean when he's doing the nativity scene with Doctor Who monsters.
And this is really true. I just reconfirmed it now too. That
there's Gretchen.
Yep, she is basically like the best with it, and I want to go see it too, because I didn't even know it was when I went and I was in that area. I should have looked up, but nobody ever told me about it. What? But we went to a different type of church, but I could have sworn like everyone kept saying go to this church, and he didn't want to go. But I just reconfirmed right now. If you put in Doctor Who 2007, you get Series 3, and you get Saxon, Martha, and everything, because it says the special is the Runaway Bride that starts it off in 2006 going into 2007 with Martha. So we're actually weird that we correlate with the trailer.
Can you bring that picture back up of Gretchen again, please? I just noticed something in the background. Can you see the St. John's emblem, which is on the card? Next to it.
Yes.
So it's basically got a Cyberman and the bells of St. John's in one photograph. That's cool.
Can we convert your congregation?
Church of Who? Let's go to the Church of Who.
If I ever walk into the congregation, they all look like Cybermen. I'm out. Did my bid for
will be upgraded.
Exactly. All right. Well, let's go ahead and let's go to commercial break. When we return, thank you so much, Gadget, for the Who Knew News. When we return, we'll be reviewing Smith and and I almost made it an April Fool thing. I keep on calling it Smith and West. For the very first known episode of Freema Agyeman playing Martha Jones in her very first full episode. Everybody's going to be reviewing that. Don't forget, while in the commercial break, go ahead and post your results, your numbers, 1 through 10, 10 being great, 1 being not so great, and every number in between as to why. We'll be going over your chats, and we got some little surprises for you along the way when we return. Please continue to stay logged on, tuned in, and Dave looks like George R.R. We'll be back.
Are you a movie nerd? Do you collect VHS, DVDs, CDs, records, and so much more? Are you looking for clothing from 1940s to 2000s? Do you need cosplay or themed outfits? Come to Ducky's Vintage. We have it all for all budgets, located at the Oviedo Mall right off of the 417. Ducky's Vintage for those born in the wrong decade.
I'm author Mark Muncy.
And I'm author Erica Lance.
And this is Eerie Travels.
Greetings, travelers. Join us as we travel through folklore, myths, monsters, legends, and dark history.
Now, we'll be your guide to the spooky side of reality as we discuss cryptids, paranormal, and all things preternatural.
Sometimes we find the truth is way scarier than fiction.
We're on twice a week on your favorite podcast platforms, including iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, and YouTube.
We have amazing guests from all of the areas of the strange and unusual, including witnesses, investigators, and more.
Yeah, with Erica's curiosity and ridiculous array of pop culture and true crime knowledge.
And Mark's decades of experience diving into folklore and the legends with the truth that's behind them.
Yeah, so join us, travelers, as we take you to the edge of reality, and we'll see you on the other side.
We are a touring acoustic duo crashing kitchens around the country. We go from house to house every Friday night, and we create music, we create food, a good time, we stream it live, and we do it for free. So now we're just really kind of like trying to develop it and build a community group that people believe in, then they'll help us. So we played from our rehearsal room, we played from the bathroom, thankfully that didn't catch on.
I probably played guitar in my room, not for anyone, in front of anyone, nobody heard, for probably about 10 years.
And then one Friday night we played from the kitchen. It's the main place people want to be. It's where the food is, it's where the drink is, it's where the best lighting is. You can go to any party and I guarantee you the kitchen is going to be popping.
Our ultimate goal, I think, would be to crash kitchens every Friday all around the world.
Hello there, everyone. I'm Ashley Eckstein. Most of you may know me as the voice of Ahsoka Tano and also the founder of WHOniverse. And this is the legend of the Traveling TARDIS.
Back and welcome to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. My name is Christian Basil. I'm the host and showrunner of this show. We lost Dave. He's coming back. You know what? He never gave us his number on this episode. Damn it. We got Gadget. We got David. We got the Candyman and the Reverend Amagon from Spill the Geek Tea on the YouTube channel. Make sure you check those guys out because they're great to have fun with. Tonight we are reviewing Smith & Jones. Make sure that if you are in the chats, whether you be on the YouTube page or the Facebook page or wherever that you're posting, please make sure to go ahead and put your numbers in 1 through 10. If it's your first time here, 1 being bad, 10 being great, and any number in between and the reason why. And as soon as we get done with the panels, we're going to get to your chats out there and see how you guys rated the episode. But without further ado, let's go ahead and bring the team on and we'll go ahead and start. You know what? I'm going to play this game. There we go. We're gonna start counterclockwise. No, we're gonna start clockwise. So without further ado, because of some random choice that I made, Candyman, you're going to be starting off our segment. Wait a minute. No, I'm sorry. We got to do it right. Candyman, give us your number.
You know I like my points, don't you?
Yes.
7.7777 recurring.
I hate you.
You knew. Did you put me first? You knew that was coming.
Yes. God, so it's 7.77. You know, I'm not putting that many sevens. Gadget, what's your what is your score?
8.
8. Okay. Tom?
8, 6, 7, 5, 3, 6.
Oh, at least we have some different numbers instead of the same numbers.
8, 6, 7, 5, 3, 0, 9.
David, how do you want to wrap this up?
I'm giving it a 9.
All right.
And Charlotte is asleep.
And the host will give his discretion, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm the lowest bidder. So
by playing by the rules, Christian,
right?
First,
yeah, but we're not playing by the rules. So, Tom,
oh my word,
you gave it a 6. You're the you started off that, my friend. So, how, why, when, where? Talk to us, Goose.
You know it's Penny Day. Oh, that was it.
What?
Today is Penny Day.
Oh,
1 cent day. Oh, as well as Tomfoolery Day. So
sorry,
coffee.
I hit the wrong button.
As long as you don't hit the other button. Okay.
No,
Why did I pick whatever I picked?
You got a 6. You're the lowest score so far. Why did
because you picked 5. But
yeah,
you're the host. So I chose 6 because everyone else chose higher numbers. You know, it's a nice start off to bring Doctor Who to another season. Bring in what we said. Wait a minute, wasn't she in that other story? Yes, she was, but it was just the actress, and supposedly that was her cousin that was killed off by the Cybermen or something. But we're happy to see Freema return. A lovely lady. Well, the whole tie thing kind of threw me. With the 10th Doctor taking off his ties, okay. Then ending up in the hospital. Okay, there's some time travel thing because that's what we do here, time traveling. The old woman with the straw, a bunch of walking rhinos saying, sorry, that was Japanese. I don't know.
Not even close.
Not even close, okay. Taiwan, whatever. Going to the moon, you know, where's Neil Armstrong and everything, the lunar landing? Where's that stuff? You know, that's what people keep saying. You know, what did we actually land on the moon? Well, it was not seen in this episode. The old woman drinking from a straw is like, well, makes me feel funny because I drink from a straw every day. Tasty.
You know what that remind me of? Remember the scene? It's supposedly the 11th Doctor was killed off by River Song, and they end up in that bar or the
diner, yeah.
The diner, and the Doctor talks about his fizzy straw.
Yeah.
And that was the first thing I remember when I saw that straw again. It's just like, I wonder if she has a fizzy straw.
My fizzy straw. Maybe it was the same straw. So for me, it was a nice Kenny. That was a true and everything else. It's just you know, the Jadoon were going to leave them to. No, see, I jumped. So the old lady with the straw sucking people's life is interesting. The whole, you know, leaving. Okay, jumping forward, leaving them on the moon to die. I say, what? You're supposed to be a law enforcement thing. How could you do something to innocent people? Not drawing any conclusions to anything else. I'm just making a point here. And at the end, the Doctor shows he has the ties. Like, as I understand it, it's still kind of confusing. The introduction of the Jadoon was cool. This old lady sucking people's souls out with a straw. That's kind of like, I don't know, a little bit too much for me.
Is being like gross or?
Oh, I heard a bottle cap drop.
You're fine. Keep going, Tom. Focus.
I can't focus. I ruined my figure, and Kenny's gonna fix it. No, it was just I'm going by memory, and also from January 1st when I saw it again. It just didn't give me a nice kick to it. It was just seemed kind of it was nice, boring. I don't know. And of course the continuation of this Saxon person. So brought into that storyline, if everyone remembered from the Runaway Bride. So it was okay. It just wasn't memorable enough for me to give it a high rating.
So it didn't tickle your fancy. It was okay for an
No.
It was like an okay episode.
It was okay, much better than Fear Her and the other thing we dealt with Linda. I don't remember now, but yeah. So it was okay. It wasn't that spectacularly great. It doesn't stand out to be like Runaway Bride did. I love that one more. So to go into new season after that, I was like, didn't have that pep for me.
Timescales gives 9 out of 10 for David Tennant sideburns.
Oh, that's what Greg says. No, for sideburns, of course. That's most. Alonze.
Or as I put it, as Candyman puts it, 9.9999. I'm repeating itself. Good grief.
Love you, Charlie Brown.
Hello. Anyway, there we go. No.
That's
there you go. Yeah, that's fine. All right.
There we go.
I can't even get the picture down that I wanted. There we go.
I'm not pushing any buttons here.
No pushing of the buttons out there. So that was 6. That's what I'm looking for. 6 out there. Our next candidate is 7777.77, repeating 7777. Then the vampiric Mr. Candyman.
But I'm not a plasma before. I drink sugar, not plasma. But yeah, I think on a whole, it was a good episode. The things I was like how the episode started off in season 3 was similar to how it started off with Rose.
Right.
And it was like, right, okay, you got the main actress going through her daily life, going back to her earthly thing, which is what we saw with Rose at the beginning. So it just felt like a bit of a carbon copy. So I was like, not to point across of that. I think the storyline, yeah, it's okay. It's one of these. If it's on, I'll watch it, but I wouldn't go back to like a favorite episode. I've got to watch this again and again and again to get my head around it. It's nice. It's simple. I think the Jadoon, international police mercenaries hired by a certain royal family to hunt down his plasma for, I think it was a nice touch. But they were just literally on a mission. I think the practical effects are absolutely beautiful for the monsters and the movement and everything they did on it. So what a kudos, and especially when we took the helmets off to see the rhinos. It looked pretty much epic, and it still holds up today. Things I didn't like, the slabs, just biker guys who made out of leather. There was pretty much no point. But just like, there just weren't any point of having those there. And it's just like, yeah, I can see why. The other thing, I think some of the CGI needs to be updated. So I took another point from that. Some of the CGI of landing on the moon looks, it needs to be updated. I think it's aging a little bit bad. And when it got exploded as well with a laser by the Jadoon after a typical Judge Dredd sort of style, being like the witness, the judge, the executioner, all in one. I like that because going back to the comics of Judge Dredd. Is it 2150 AD? Or have I got that number wrong? And I think that's quite good. The one bit I thought, okay, the Time Lord kisses Martha. Yeah, I can pass that because he just literally laid down the ground lords after he just basically lost Rose and thing. But he's right. I'm not in love with you. Blah blah blah, and we're just going on this as just for fun, just as crazy. Like, Martha felt like a rebound. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's a rebound companion. No offense to Martha, but she's just like, okay, Doctor's just been heartbroken. She's just picked someone else up. Let's go for a ride and see what happens. Which is a bit, well. But the thing which really got me is in the radiation. Okay. He basically saps us. Okay, spoilers alert. Spoilers. Okay, I'm going to spoil it for this. He saps one of the slabs with an X-ray machine, which is basically 5,000% more dangerous, and completely destroys it while destroying his sonic screwdriver, which was the 9th Doctor screwdriver. So you actually see another Doctor destroying his sonic screwdriver, but he just shake it off like it was nothing. And it worked. I worked this out because you got timey-wimey and you got science whiny as well. He survived 5,000 rads of radiation, and he was absolutely fine. He just shook it out, but yet he can't survive 500,000 because that just basically wipes him out. Hence why I gave it 7.777 recurring.
But it's kind of like when I was it was kind of like when I was criticizing. It's just like, if you really think about it, after the 10th, the 11th, and the 12th Doctor had their, and the 13th Doctor had their falls, if you know what I'm talking about. 10 drops from a spaceship, hits the ground, he's okay. He's busted up, but he's okay. The 11th Doctor's in an astronaut suit. From the Witch, the Wardrobe, and whatever the heck that episode's called. And 13 drops when the TARDIS shakes her out like a salt and pepper shaker. And the 12th Doctor, I think he falls in an episode too. But I was just like, okay, so the 4th Doctor, who just dropped from a tower, but like maybe not even a halfway up on these things.
Maybe he just landed wrongly.
No, you got the Watcher. The Watcher is like cushioning. Remember, you still got the Watcher, that white whatever thingy that went crawling in.
He landed on Peter Davis. Is that how that works? Ow.
Whatever that was, probably cushioned him.
Okay.
Reinforced the bones.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you there, Christian. But I'm allowing, because Tom Baker is a legend, but he just accidentally fell wrongly and broke his back or something.
You know, you're supposed to go limp. You know, you're supposed to go limp when you fall, right? Every stunt person knows that you go limp. You know. So
remember Death of the Incredible Hulk? He fell from the helicopter, and that's how you kill the Hulk. It's like he can jump over buildings, yet he falls from a helicopter. Boom, Hulk's dead. That's how you end the series. Oh my God, no,
but it was like 13. She's dropped from space in her own TARDIS. She's wearing no protection. She hits a train, and like, oh, okay. Yeah, Tom Baker just hit his butt the right way, something like that.
Put a disc out of place.
Yeah, exactly. when you hit that bone on the bottom of your butt, you just hit it right, you're gonna hurt.
But yeah, no. The thing is as well, because he's got that radiation poison, I just play that in kindergarten, and then later on he gets obliterated by it. It's like, what am I watching? I think that's where the problem is when you rewatch these machines and you know what's happening in the future. You sort of like, okay, this now does not make sense. But
I still say they're out of time order.
I know that, David. But all I'm saying, yeah, that's how I wrote Jodie's rewritten, because she was in mid-regeneration, the same way. Candyman just mentioned that, the 10th Doctor got his arm cut off and then he grew back another. So I'm just like, it's like now he can drop anywhere, anytime, as big a distance, and it won't bother him as much. So
well, that is a good point, because he raised a good point, because they were in the generation phase,
right? That's why I wrote it off.
Tom Baker wasn't in his generation phase. It was,
but then again,
generation phase.
But then again, 11 fell off a spaceship, and all he had was an astronaut suit on, and he did it. And you'd think he would have changed right then, but
He also was shot by his wife.
or his daughter.
Well, we get them confused.
Yeah.
Speaking of confused, we are going to bring in our next panelist. So, Gadget, you brought it up to an 8.
Well, I have to tweak.
Make some sense out of this.
Well, here's my thing about it, because they talked about some points I was going to talk about too and everything. But my thing was because first, when I figured out the correlation with the trailer and everything, that there's something specific about 2007, them landing in the new season 2, and this being the first episode of 2007, I was looking for things that might relate to that episode when they land and everything. So I just kept looking around, and then I was focusing on Martha walking and the argument with the family. And if you come from a dysfunctional family, you know that argument very well and everything about this one, that one, and everything and stuff. So she was so distracted, she didn't even notice him taking the tie off until she looked at it and goes, "Who are you?" Like that. And everything, and then she's going and everything's doing fine, because at first you don't realize like if her like she's the doctor or anything at first watch it. Now that you know what she does and everything and stuff, now you're like, oh, she's going to the hospital, she's getting everything ready and stuff, and she's looking around and they're asking all these questions and everything. And it's funny about her, she knows when she went to examine him after she spoke to the lady who had the salt deficiency, which we later find out is our wonderful vampire and everything, or I cannot say it, and everything. Yeah. She knew and heard he had 2 heartbeats, and he winked at her, and she just played it off and everything. Like, she was too calm about it. Like, most people would have been like, that's a little strange. But she was like, now I'm curious. Like, she kept getting very curious and curiouser about it and everything. So every time she was around him, I kept seeing like where it's like, okay, I'm curious about this. I'll go with them. Something's not right. I'm going to go. I hear all these stories, but I'm going to go with him. Right. And they go through the hospital and everything, and they're finding all this stuff. Now, the only thing that got me was when, like you said, with the magnetism, the x-ray machine and everything and stuff like that. I swear David Tennant does not like wearing shoes. Because during the x-ray one, he had to put all the radiation in the tennis shoe, and he didn't want to wear one shoe, so he threw both shoes in the garbage and walking around that whole hospital for the rest of the episode barefoot and everything. And then also, if she's tweaking the MRI, wouldn't there be all metal floating into everything and stuff and everything? Because it still would be magnetic, even though it's sending out a magnetic pulse to destroy everybody and everything. So, and then wouldn't Martha have been also irradiated? Because that little screen should not be able to hold that much radiation and everything. But what got me was the kiss, because she just looked like, okay, I either have a choice. I can either follow this guy because that was some kiss, or let me just play this out and see what happens here and everything. But I think she took a liking to him from the first moment she saw him. So is it a one-sided, or is it, plus remember, like you said, can't even say it. He's heartbroken. Everybody's broken up. Everybody, everything is just one of those back and forth thing and stuff. But most of the thing that got me was that she was too calm. Like, she did not freak out. She, like, Rose at least freaked out a little bit and then caught on to it. She was just like, oh, just another day. Oh, just another day. And I'm like,
could that have been the appeal for the doctor, because she was the one who kind of, when it came to everybody else in that hospital, she was the one that was steadfast. She
she's more curious than she is afraid.
Exactly.
Right. And that's what draws his attention.
And she also, throughout the series, is the one that puts his hearts back together because of everything.
Well, when it comes to the 11th Doctor, when he mentions is like, I pick my companions, I thought that was what the case was. He knew there was something more about Martha than to everybody else. That was, and especially the way that she handled that situation made a more appeal for him. And yeah, I could see.
She was not second guessing anything. She was just like, okay, I'll go with it.
I see your point, but I think what they were trying to do, and this is where I kind of put the writers on task for this, is that I don't know if they knew how to write her in, if that makes sense.
Because of what happened, her cousin episode?
I don't even think that was a big factor.
Because they were trying to pull a Patty Duke. I can understand that.
I think it was just, yeah, she be like Mark said, she's rebound girl now, and that's how she was seen.
I'm trying to think, was there another rebound too in the series? Who else in the earlier series was a rebound?
No, I'd have to think about it. Like, if
Yeah,
I would find it, but
it is funny that like she made the decision also throughout the series not to wait. She was never the girl that waited. She gave him a chance, and his heart was still with Rose. So she definitely is rebound.
She took a while though, because she wasn't ready to go. Remember at first when her family came around the corner, like it was the same thing with Rose when Mickey was like crying on the floor of the TARDIS door. And she go, no, I got not on the TARDIS door, but on the street, where he was just panicky, and she go, no, I got to take care of this lug. And then for a brief moment, she got to see the glimpse in the world when he says, well, it travels in time. Did I mention that?
I just like when he's standing in the corner and goes, oh, really? It's bigger on the inside. Like he's mouthing everything she goes and everything.
I think he's just used to it out there. By the way, I
actually think it's quite cute that you mentioned Mickey. Because
she marries him.
Yeah.
Which Mickey is it, though? Did she travel to the alternate world to be with that Mickey?
No, I think she got killed.
There's only one Mickey.
No, there was two, remember?
Ricky was killed.
That was Ricky.
That's what I'm saying. So does that mean she went to the alternate world to go see, or was that later on with the other special we had? When everybody got back together.
I don't know. Well, then she got Torchwood, and she got Unit. So I'm just like I was like,
they didn't know what to do with her.
Exactly. I just think they just didn't know what to do with Martha at some point. They were trying to impress her to be like, and I'm almost going into my review a little bit, so I'm going to
okay
there a little bit. But I wanted to give everybody a bit of Easter egg. If you know Martha's dad, wow, that did not show up. Oh, there we go. It took a while. If you know Martha's dad, Clive Jones, this is not his first rodeo. He actually is one of the very few actors who can say that he was in classic Who. If you remember Trial of a Time Lord, he was trying to kill the Doctor in Mind Warp. So that is his first appearance in Doctor Who, and then later on he becomes Martha's pop. But I thought that was just a cute crossover. So
yeah. All in all, I just was more like, because it was also sped up to me. Like it was so fast, like you just saw it coming. And the bikers reminded me of my anime I like that's called Durara and everything, where it's based on the Sleepy Hollow, where they have no, like the girl has no head and everything. Yeah. The biker, that's what reminded me of that and everything. Otherwise, that lady just sucking with a straw. I think the vampires that 11 dealt with were better than this one.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I don't want to go into my territory. So anyway, David, you are up.
All right.
No, I want the cat to do the whole.
Oh, she's trying to kiss or eat.
Cat has to do the review.
Yeah, what's the cat's rating? What's the cat's rating on this episode?
Well,
make her meow.
She loves her daddy, so she agrees with me. The episode is excellent. It's a 9.
9 lives.
I mean, I was tempted to go slightly above a 9, just because. Well, I mean, part of it is penance, I have to admit, because my first time through just watching the series, I didn't particularly dig Martha in general. I mean, really everything before Donna shows up as a full companion, that's where I perk up in terms of my fandom in the first place. But rewatching the episode this time, I really appreciated it a lot more. I mean, it's Freema Agyeman's first outing as Martha, as we've mentioned, and Martha is, I mean, she's super companion is the thing. They were in a rough. Well, Davis was in a rough position with saying goodbye to Rose. He sets it up with Donna saying, "You need someone." And he doesn't want a companion, but she is, I mean, echoes, as Candyman pointed out, echoes of Rose in this episode. I think that's intentional. That's part of what draws his attention. There's enough Rose in her that his aching hearts see value there. And then, of course, I mean, she's more curious than afraid about anything. But she's also deeply caring, and she challenges him when it's appropriate. People call me the doctor. Well, I'm not going to, and you have to earn that title, and that kind of thing. There's a great deal to her that appeals to him, and that's what breaks through his determination not to have another companion, at least at the time. And I love that. I love that. I mean, I how do I put this without being snarky?
Just be snarky.
I'm under the.
We've gone past.
Your daughter would want you to be snarky.
Fair enough. I'm under the impression that Doctor Who is not a historical record. It is a television show intended for entertainment, and so I'm. I like a lot of the stuff that has contributed to lower ratings. Ultimately, Doctor Who is a family show. It's for kids and adults. And as much as I like a lot of the more adult episodes and the scarier episodes, this one had a very definite threat. Marvelous performance. I've forgotten the actress's name, but the Plasmavore, Anne Reid, I think, something like that.
Reid, yeah.
Absolutely marvelous performance, because she never shapeshifts. She doesn't do anything but pull out a little bendy straw, and yet she is still vaguely terrifying in her performance.
Yeah.
And it's the perfect threat for a kid, this safe person who is just incredibly malign. But there's also a hefty amount of humor, not just from the Doctor and Martha, but like, as we can see in this shot right here, like, I laughed out loud because I'd forgotten entirely when they do the scan, they put a little marker X on the back of your hand, like you're going into a club, like that. Like that, just they pulled a hospital off of the face of the planet Earth and kept all of preserved the various hookups and whatnot, as like it's getting power, but that is their way of sorting people, is a little marker X on the back of the hand. I laughed for a good solid 2-3 minutes on that one. And but yeah, it's friendly for the kids, but at the same time, there's a lot of deeper emotional stuff going on between the Doctor and Martha that for the adults to appreciate on a narrative level. It's fantastic, because even though he says the kiss doesn't mean anything, it's nothing, he's just trying to transfer some DNA onto her so that it'll confuse the scanners long enough for him to get what he needs to do done. She's clearly affected by it. He clearly sees elements of Rose in her, and there is that sort of "you remind me of my great love" thing going on, who I couldn't have thing going on. And so takes her long trial basis at the end, and setting up dynamics. And that's, I always feel bad for Freema in that I don't think her character was ever designed to go much beyond the one season, just because she was the rebound girl.
Mm-hmm.
And as a result of that, she was not differentiated enough from Rose except in those key ways. So, but I actually really liked it this time. I have to admit, I don't like the Jadoon in general. They're vaguely amusing, but also, as Mark said, brilliant animatronics on the facial features, just absolutely stellar, especially for that era of TV. So, but
and for the BBC budget,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's
you saw the Centaurans over the years.
Yeah, I think it's I just enjoy the hell out of this episode now, and I'm looking forward to rewatching the rest of Martha's episodes with that fresh appreciation for her.
I must admit, I did like the good thing about this episode is the title, Smith and Jane,
yes,
because it is a little Easter egg for Sarah Jane Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And Smith and Wesson. I prefer that title.
Yeah, but you're American, so.
Yeah.
I'm Asian, so what? I don't know. Where is this going?
On this note, we can segue right to you, Christian. On what
exactly. Let's go ahead and Sagimi out here. Oh, good grief. I think everybody kind of nailed the point of what were the positives, what were the negatives. It was supposed to be never mind, I hit the wrong picture.
That one goes away with Sophie's. That one goes.
No, we're incorporating that somehow. we got to make this work somehow. It was supposed to be a fun episode to introduce a new companion, and I honestly think I don't want to put it in this light. It's kind of like replacing Peter Davison with Tom Baker in the fact that everybody grew in love with Rose, and now we're replacing Rose with somebody else. And I don't know if they knew how to handle her. Because she went from, just typical doctor in her own right. And then she was a part of UNIT. She was a part of Torchwood. She ended up on Torchwood. I'm just like, my God.
Freedom fighters.
She's a freedom fighter with her husband. I'm just like, wow, she lives a nice life nowadays. So but the way that they treat her was kind of the rebound girl. It was like he didn't want to open up his hearts again because they were broken. And when we get into the next episode, we'll see why in the little scene that he has with one of the witches over there. How much Rose.
Oh, you mean his ex-wife?
Spoilers.
No. Well, it's. I feel it's kind of hard because the character will bleed into the other episodes.
Yeah,
and it has to, and it's almost like they didn't know what to do with her. They tried the best to do with her, and then they said, "Okay, you're out of here. You're out of here, Freema." But then she came back a couple times, and then she went over to Torchwood, and then we saw the character really grow. But it's kind of like seeing, Chris Evans, before he got all that muscle to be Captain America to being Captain America. It's just like it's day and night. All of a sudden, it's just boom. She's more powerful. She's more sophisticated. She's highly intelligent. We knew that from the start, but I guess I wanted to see that development. But we were so hooked upon. Am I right on that assumption?
She had the shortest run of all the companions, I think.
She had the most we don't know what to do with Freema, so we're gonna just give her the one season. I think you're right, David, that she felt like a one series companion.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if we had Adelaide longer than the episode that she was in. It's like, what do we do with her now? So
Adric.
Yes. Oh, that's the way you get rid of the companions. Sorry, Matthew.
We're Sophie, not Matthew.
What's that?
First Sophie, now Matthew.
Yeah, exactly. It's. I think this was like what you who said it was a carbon copy of the reintroduction with Rose.
Me, I said that.
Oh, okay. It
Yeah,
kind
blame
of
Mark.
what they were trying to do was develop that relationship again, because the Doctor enters her world now, and she's just having to deal with it. But while everybody else is running and screaming, going crazy, she's starting to cope with it. She started to analyze it. And now she has to trust this person who was a patient just a few minutes ago.
He's definitely from a dysfunctional family. Yeah.
So I guess maybe if I knew her route a little bit better and how her development is, because all of her development eventually takes over outside of the show. So when she comes back with Donna, I'm just like, all this stuff has happened. And then when she ends up in Torchwood, all this stuff has happened. Then she ends up with Mickey. She's married to him, and that was the cute little thing. That was his gift to himself. But it's almost like they had an idea and they just didn't know where to go with it. And then they finally just said, unceremonious. I can't say the word, but unceremonious. She leaves.
Ceremonious.
Yeah. Exactly. and it's nothing to do with Freema. It has nothing to do actually with Martha. I think it's just a lot of, we just don't know what to do with her. We're just going to have a companion. They wrote her for one series, and you can tell they wrote her for one series, but I think people wanted her back.
Yeah.
In some
I
way.
think she'll be like one of the really good people to do big Finish audio.
She has.
Yeah, but making more depth of her story and her character arc.
That did they have kids and everything, stuff like that. Yeah.
A Merry Asian. That sounds like an airline. Fly a Merry Asian. I'm American.
Probably better than what's been flying around lately.
Gotcha. My question is, and Raj continues, my question is, will Martha Jones return with Ncuti, 15th Doctor, working for UNIT?
She's in the other world.
Series 2? I don't know anymore.
Wait, is she in the other world? Are we going to see that? Wait, are we going to see Rose and our other Doctor with the kid? Maybe that would be nice.
You're going to find out that Danny Pink was the kid. Another character who just got totally shafted. No.
I love that.
Yeah, because now we got to speculate, because they opened the door on Good Morning America telling everybody there's going to be like all these Whovians going to love this season because something's coming back. And it's like, okay, what is it?
I don't know what else they'd really say in an interview, though. I mean, it's kind of meh. I mean, there's one episode, but after you get up to it, it's okay.
Well, that's like when he says like he's the doctor. She goes, "What do you mean the doctor?" And all this, and well, I'm the nurse. That's what I almost felt like with this episode too. Like when they were bantering back and forth about why you called the doctor and everything, So that's what I'm saying. There's something, unless they're doing all Easter eggs to this season and everything, especially pointing out 2007 in that one episode that's coming up in season 2. That's what I'm saying. This. I would watch this season closely.
Maybe
Easter eggs during Easter. How apropos.
Speaking of Easter eggs, let's get to your chats. Nico Bat says, I give it a 9. I love the concept of how a villain can hide in plain sight and basically a vampire with a straw. Or
just give it a juice box.
Look, I'm a candy vampire. There's a difference. I don't do blood. Yes, I drink caffeine drinks, energy drinks, and sugar.
And I'm a Scorpio.
I'm only going to say is, Gretchen, if you see Mark with a straw, run.
Luckily, she's on the opposite side of the country to where I am. So
stinks. Raj, I give Smith and Jones the same ratings as I did Runaway Bride. If you're going to review it at a later episode, which is 9.6 for the introduction of the June action-packed episode. Was action-packed? I think it just got a little hokey. I hate to say it that way, but
like he says, look at those rhino things. Look at those rhino things.
Exactly.
Yeah, sure. Well, yeah. So, sorry.
I like that. But it was just kind of getting overdone. And then it's like, okay, what the TARDIS can't translate now. So, Jim,
he didn't have the TARDIS. The TARDIS was on Earth.
I don't know how that TARDIS matrix works in a minute. But no, later on, it's Donna and Ten who meet the Jadoon again, and they're still in trope.
Yep, and the Doctor speaks that back to them. So
he speaks baby.
Well, you notice he had that thing on his chest, so I wonder if that interferes with the frequency of the TARDIS. Maybe they're on the same frequency or different channels.
I mean, it's the same thing as whenever anybody on Star Trek speaks French, German, an Earth language that isn't English, it does not get translated.
Oh, I just got a private message saying I never gave that thing a number. So Tom gave it a 6. I'm going to give it 5.9999999. So I'm going to be that guy that underbids and bids $1. So because I know you guys way overbid it, so I'm going to be the dollar guy. Jim says I give the episode a 6. That's because when the hospital's taken, put on the moon, all the water lines were broken, gas lines were broken, the sewage lines were broken too. Well,
like I said, how did the MRI did not grab all the metal when she did that?
As a guy who I totally recommend as far as reviews is concerned, the Critical Drinker, he goes, it just makes the story work. Okay, go on.
Come on,
we have to make this thing work.
There's a hospital on the moon.
Yes.
Plot holes, making sense, never happens in Doctor Who, and that's why we like it so much.
So he's got to look at the Crystal Palace for Sailor Moon on the moon.
Yes.
Yeah.
One day it may make all sense. Some writer will go, I'm going to just dot all the T's and crosses all the I's. Just
like taking a cab to go get the ponds.
Could you imagine somebody who is a continuity expert from the beginning till today have to figure out how to make everything work?
That's one job you do not want to be on set. The continuity for set design too and everything. It's like nope. Nope.
Let alone all of Doctor Who from the very beginning and then add a big finish to it.
And that's what I like about Russell T. Davies is he just, he straight up, first of all, says, it's Doctor Who. I can do anything and it'll work. But also after the toy maker nudged reality to create middling quality backstory for that's like all bets are off. Like that all happened. Now anything can have happened also.
I have no problem with Doctor Who
He might have hit something. He might have hit something for next season.
I have no problem with being the way that Doctor Who is because it's totally unbound. Having said that, if you have a continuity story where everything is just going off the chain, I mean, the roller coaster only rides on one track. You split that track up, it derails. Yeah. So that's how I see the continuity. Now I understand he can go time travel and all that stuff, but still, you have to have something that runs along a track.
Well, didn't he say in this episode you can do it for cheap jokes? You just can't mess with the timeline. You can do it for cheap jokes. That's why he did the tie thing with her.
I do this episode all the
cheap tricks. Yes.
We already know that the railways have been split because we've got bi-generation now. So it is completely off the route.
Exactly.
And we have another 10th Doctor who has a kid with Rose with one heart.
Let me shoot the Doctor until I have a Doctor army that could take me on. I mean, just
because everyone keeps forgetting they gave him a piece of the TARDIS to grow a TARDIS, but they said that plot line went out the window.
Talking about continuity, can we put up that picture I sent you just so we can spot the difference?
Oh, I was doing that while you said that.
I was saving that for the right time, but okay.
Got you back. This is Sophie's revenge.
Sophie's revenge.
He could cosplay him. I'll give him that. He could cosplay him.
I'm gonna keep this picture forever. It's going nowhere. Timescales. Smith and Jones rates 7.10. Oh wait, I see. It's 7.5 out of 10 on the timescales out of 229 ratings and reviews. That's 7.5. I myself will give it a 9. Okay. I'm sticking with my 9/10 because my wife loved Martha as a new companion. I think part of the Doctor Who story has a lot to do with who you watch it with.
Hmm.
Well, I got nothing.
I'm just staring at this
think of that one.
I'm just trying to think, right, can I spot the difference?
Yeah, go ahead. Spot the difference.
I can't.
That is just so uncanny. He could pull it off for cosplay.
Sadly, it is.
Or if they do like a biopic, he could play for the biopic.
I speak the truth, David. All I'm saying is, at the end of Flux, how many universes are there? How many planets are left? Where the hell are we? Is he
Didn't
the last
he
of the
reset it
Time Lords?
with Donna?
I'm like,
in
what the hell is going
60th?
on? What's that?
Didn't he reset it with Donna in the 60th when they went to the edge of the universe?
I don't know.
And cause superstition and everything?
No.
I don't. Well, I mean,
Martha's
even before
scared.
that, with the Flux, there was just like, before that even happened, it was just like, why the Earth's still standing? I'm just like, yeah, whatever. It's okay.
I'll laugh if the pawns show up.
Which one is Dave?
Oh no.
Guys, randomly, what we'll do is next time Dave's on, we keep asking when he's going to finish his book. I wonder
Younger
if I
Dave,
do there's
older
the
Dave.
thing. No, can't even. I hate it.
If that happens, then we might get a Ronnie.
How will you get a Ronnie on a
loophole for the
bi-gender?
copy. Because you get a loophole with the copyright because the other one is now property of the other company.
Oh God, this multi-universe thing is going to kill it.
Thank you, DC Comics.
You know,
for
we're just
doing that.
we're just going to leave this picture on for the rest of the show.
Yeah, why not?
Everybody comment on that.
This is.
I mean,
He's
the
gonna
generation.
I don't know.
does
He's going to
what?
pull a Sophie on. He's going to kill you.
This is.
He'll do something to me. I know that for a fact. He'll figure it out. I do have a little bit of sad news. Let me get rid of that.
Are you putting it? Because I got to make sure I have my tissues if you're putting what I think you're putting.
Well, it will be only temporary, but and we were going to say goodnight. Well, you know, I'll do this. I'll do this at the very end. Let me go ahead and I think we're at the end right now. If unless somebody wants to mention.
Anybody got anything cool to say? Anything happen? Any more like rumors for April Fools for the Doctor? Because Amazon is not getting them.
Not rumors, but I have got. It's not 100% confirmed, but it probably looks like that Doctor Who second season show will be at 8 a.m. in the morning on BBC iPlayer, and correspondingly to the rest of the world, wherever you are. However, to actually on BBC One, it's looking like about 10 to 6, so 17:50.
In your time.
In UK time, which is not confirmed yet, but that looks like a normal space where I will put it on. I'm just waiting for
because that's what we're all going to look like at 3 a.m. if it is still at 3 a.m.
That's what I look like most nights.
What are you doing, Christian? Watching Doctor Who.
And it was fortunate that I got the Japan Disney Plus that they were showing Doctor Who with the Japanese logo and everything because they're prepared for it too. But I was trying to translate to see what it was, and it was sounding what Candyman is saying when they're going to air it and everything because of Japanese time.
That is actually confirmed on the BBC website that it will be released on BBC iPlayer at 8 a.m. UK time, and whatever time that is in the UK, corresponding to your local time, will show it on Disney.
So, like right now would be 12:22 your time there, and it's where is it? 8:22 a.m. in Japan and 7:22 here. So it's give or take 5 hours between everybody. Sort of.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So you're right. You will be up at about 3 o'clock in the morning if you want to watch it live on BBC.
On
BBC iPlayer. Get it right, BBC iPlayer. Not
because 8 o'clock in the morning your time. 5. Yeah, we're 5 hours behind here. Yeah.
I won't go and cope at 8 a.m. in the morning. Oh no.
Well Christian could be on the No Name Show.
What if you have to? You're not going to be home probably then, right?
I'll be on the No Name Show at that point. Jeez.
You go from the one show, watch a Doctor Who, and I like how the picture says Rev next to my name. I like that.
Trevor. Oh my God. Well, next week I have no idea what we're going to be doing, but we're going to.
Neither do I.
Exactly. So next week, just keep an eye out on things, especially on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. Of course, when we get to April, we're going to start out with the Robot Revolution. It's going to be hosted by Dave. We don't know what time that we're going to be doing it. It's not going to be at 3 a.m. Hell no.
No, we're not. I don't think we're going to do live watches, right? No.
No, we do. I think it's the live watch, but I don't think we're going to do it 3, and especially with Dave, that will be, I think, midnight to him.
Mm-hmm.
The previous day. So
and me, I can't sneak across from 3 a.m.
Yeah. So the Robot Revolution and Lux are the first 2 episodes that we will be watch partying.
I want you guys to think about Lux more so than the other one, but what do you think of Lux?
I think it hasn't aired yet, and thus
No, but I mean your opinion of what you're hearing and seeing. What do you guys think of Lux?
I haven't heard anything.
I'm going to try not to spoil myself this time around.
Okay, that's what I want to make sure.
I think it's Flux without the so
yeah.
Lux Luthor.
Maybe it's a retcon of Flux.
So get the F out.
If you ever get a chance to meet Freema Agyeman, she's so adorable, and she really didn't know what to do with the TARDIS. She goes, "What do you want me to do?" And then she tried to pose. I said, "No, don't do it that way," and that was the end result. Now I explain to people. Now it's so easier. I pull up my phone and I show them all the pictures of people I've taken beforehand, whereas everybody's going like, "What are we doing? What's going on here?" And the only person I couldn't show was Matt Smith because we were in there like cattle taking a picture. It was just like in and out, in and out, in and out.
Well, as soon as I bring Squishy with me to the cons, they're all like, "Yes, please." They're like, "When are we getting a panel?" They keep going, "When are we getting a panel?" And I'm like, "I'm trying, guys."
When can they ship me up there with the rest of the team? It seems only right that Doctor Who should air at a normal time in the UK instead of midnight. 3 a.m. for you guys in the East Coast, midnight for me, and time scales. How about me in Tonga?
We do.
What? Skip. Anyway, Doctor Who has been on.
He actually probably lives in Tonga.
No, I get that.
Whatever your time zone is, just
where is it?
That's what I'm trying to figure out right now.
You're gonna make me look this up, aren't you?
Tonga, because I know with the earthquake. That's why I wanted to talk that.
Oh my God, David, you got a space at your house. I'm moving over. Jesus, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I just saw the picture.
Country in Oceania. Oh my God, this is beautiful.
It's 13 hours plus.
He's actually Canadian. David Gibbons is a friend of the other Dave and I.
Good night.
Troop of Daves.
How many Davids are out there that Dave knows?
There were 5 of us in college.
Try being Italian with your cousins all named Nicholas, John, and there's Nick 2, Nick 3. No. I vowed I'd never. I got to check when I date with names, date with birthdays, and if they're related.
All right. Well, we'll go ahead and wrap it up because I do have a special thing at the end of our show that I want to make an announcement I don't want to make.
Also, can we just say prayers for the people with the earthquake too? Because a lot of my friends have been emailing me from there and everything. They were on vacation.
God, have you seen the videos of people of the pools that are on the
Yeah, people were getting hit with the water coming.
Somebody was in the pool and he was like, "Do I get out or do I stay in?" And I just remember the video with the pool that did get damaged. It was leaking and it was just like a waterfall. It was like this waterfall continually going.
And then they said on the ground, people who got hit with the water got knocked out because it was so powerful.
Yeah,
and everything. So that's what I'm saying. It's like you got to be careful. And some of the people have houses over there that recommend like, "Oh, go over and have a house there." Nope. Mm-mm.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and wrap it up there, folks. Let's go ahead to David crossing the themes. Not WordPress. That was perfect. That was perfect. That was just perfect right there.
He's like, give me my daddy.
We got to see her religion right there. Yeah. David, crossingthethemes.wordpress.com. Where can we also find you if we need to?
That is about it. I mean, I wander the streets aimlessly, shouting at cars. But unless you're around Alberta, that's probably not a great way to get a hold of me.
God. Where can people find you? Maybe even Gretchen will find you. I don't know. She might make the trip.
Gretchen's going to stay like 5 hours away from me because she's on the other side of the country, and plus I don't have a straw either, so I can't get handy. You can find me here at the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, and you can also find me at Spill the Geek Tea, where we talk about random stuff. Random stuff, and it's come in, join the fun, and we'll sit and chat, and whatever that happens.
Speaking of Spill the Geek Tea, Tom, where can people find you? Since I already said it.
Yeah, you can find me on my regular channel, Tasty Cake. Wednesdays and Saturdays at 5 p.m. I do my live shows, Tasty Talk with Tasty Cake, along with Mark, who next week's episode, he is the one in control. So make sure you watch that one, peoples.
Yeah,
and watch them all, please. Please.
Car crash that episode.
Speaking of car crashes, Gadget, where
Whoa. Well, I've been in a few. I've been in a few. I mean, I lost my ability to drive.
Oh my God.
Wow, you had to go there.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Yes, he did. And I appreciate it because I know he teases. Like I said, I wished I had a brother, and I now got big brothers everywhere. So yeah, and everything. But guys, YouTube, Instagram. I tried working on a commercial for my books I posted it on YouTube. So let's hope that works and everything. But still out of work, still trying to figure out why this whole world has just gone and everything. But could help, guys. Pick up the books. They'll help with the revenue right now because unemployment's running out in May and everything. I'm going to be at Bronx Comic-Con August 2nd and Anime NYC from the 21st through the 24th of August. Possibly, if they stop having sinkholes in New Jersey, I was going to be at the Abilities Expo and possibly also Build Expo in the Javits Center, and the other one's out in Jersey with the sinkholes. But those are coming up soon and everything. But right now, it's debatable for those last two, but guaranteed for Bronx Comic-Con as well as Anime NYC. And if we can get the funds for New York Comic-Con.
And as we wrap this up, don't forget to say goodbye to our good friend. Oh, I'm sorry. I just heard myself speaking for a moment there. Anyway,
Gary.
I just wanted to make sure. I was like, whoa. We had to say our final goodbyes. Simon went on his final journey. He was cremated, I believe, either yesterday or this morning. So he went to his final journey.
Yeah.
And we direly miss him. And I promised from now on we would say goodnight to Simon and when they're closing because we want him to still be part of the legend that he is and be part of our show. So without further ado, everybody make sure in the chat to say goodnight, Simon. As we roll out, we should have a show next week. Keep an eye on our schedule. Again, check up on our YouTube page or our Facebook channel for the upcoming episodes. Dave, and we may have a surprise returning guest that might be helping us with those reviews. But in the meantime, everybody, thank you for joining us. Again, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Polar Nights are there. Good news from the BBC. Sold the rights of
I hope that's not April Fool's.
I hope it is.
I hope it. I don't want.
Because I don't know.
Close enough that I don't want any more.
I'm like, please, like, you know.
You stole the Muppets. They're not going to steal Doctor Who.
They killed the Muppets.
They killed the Muppets. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, now they're going to put them on Rock and Roller Coaster, and everybody's going like, scratchy heady, scratchy heady, scratchy heady. So Everybody, don't forget to say goodnight to Simon. Thank you so much for joining us. And until the next venture, thank you for joining us tonight. Tony, dematerialize.